Hello dear students, good morning everyone. This is the third lecture for class ninth physics of second chapter, that is force and laws of motion. And in this lecture today we will discuss about two terms. Number one, momentum, and number two, inertia. So these two terms are very important for the further next terms that is given in this chapter. So you all have to listen carefully what is the concept of momentum and what is the use of momentum, and then what is the definition of inertia and what is the types of inertia and how the inertia is used in our real life. So let us see, starting from momentum. Second chapter, force and laws of motion. And in this chapter we will discuss the first term, that is momentum here. And momentum, the concept of definition, it is very easy, and in maximum books the definition is just given the measurement, but definition concept is different from the measurement. Definition here, difference between definition and momentum will be clear when you just listen carefully. So definition here, the physical quantity gives the concept of force. The physical quantity which gives the concept of force, that is momentum, is defined as just like in momentum there is the concept hidden that gives the concept of force. How the momentum gives the quantity force? The physical quantity gives the concept of force is defined as momentum. We will discuss in lecture number 4, that is in Newton's law of motion. Newton's first law, Newton's second law, Newton's third law. The Newton's second law means what? Definition of force. So we will discuss in lecture number 4. But in this lecture, the definition, that is the physical quantity which gives the concept of force, that is defined as momentum. Measurement of this one, measurement of momentum. How measurement of momentum done? It is measured by the product of mass and velocity. Very simple. It is measured by the product of mass and velocity. Clear? That is momentum P equal to mass m into v. I have only one mv. So in between m and v there is a symbol, that is multiplication symbol. So momentum P is equal to mass into velocity, in magnitude form P is equal to mv. It is a vector quantity and its unit very simple, mass unit kilogram and velocity unit meter per second or kilogram meter second inverse. Now we are just going to discuss the unit of momentum in the terms of Newton. Very important question. Suppose numerical or optional question is given and the momentum unit is given in Newton second. How you recognize the physical quantity is momentum? Suppose a physical quantity of 20 Newton second is given, then which quantity? When you are knowing about the unit of momentum in the terms of Newton, then you can identify, otherwise will be problem. Let's see. Unit here, unit of momentum in the terms of Newton. As you know, 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg meter per second square. Here only 1 kg meter per second, so multiplying into second and dividing by second, and this one becomes 1 Newton second is equal to 1 kg meter per second. At the place of kg meter per second we use what? Newton second. So unit of momentum is equal to Newton into second. A Newton second. Very important concept. Unit of momentum in the terms of Newton. And definition, just listen again. The physical quantity which gives the physical quantity which gives the concept of force is defined as momentum, and measurement of momentum, it is measured by the product of mass and velocity. Here velocity vector quantity, that's why momentum also a vector quantity. So in magnitude form P equal to mv, and whenever numerical given on momentum and you are knowing about the mass and velocity, then you can solve out the numerical based on this momentum concept. Here unit of momentum in the terms of Newton, very important. As we know, 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram meter per second, so multiplying second in both sides. Here Newton second and here second one will cancel, then 1 kilogram meter per second will be as here kilogram meter per second. So 1 Newton second is equal to 1 kilogram meter per second. So SI unit of momentum in the terms of Newton, that is Newton second. Then after this we will plot the graph of momentum related physical quantity. Let's see. Graph of M versus V. And how do we say that? M versus P. First of all, M versus P. Then This is momentum axis and this is mass axis. When mass increases, then momentum increases. It means you obtain a straight line. That is what? V. P is equal to mv, or V is equal to P by m. In the same ratio, whenever mass increases, then momentum will be increased. And the situation will be what? Always V will be constant. So, similarly, when we plot graph between P and V, then we also find out such terms. P equal to mv, m is equal to P upon V. In these two graphs, it is clear that whenever velocity increases, then momentum increases, and here whenever mass increases, then momentum also increases. It means both are mass and velocity directly proportional to momentum. It means anyone, if it increases, then momentum increases. Either mass increases or velocity increases out of given two, then momentum will increase. And momentum is what? That's like a concept of force, as we defined earlier. Momentum means concept of force. And for your simple understanding, suppose you have to throw a body of 10 kg, then you can throw up to several meters, I think nearly 2 to 3 meters. But when you have to throw a body of mass 500 gram, then you can throw up to near about 100 meters. So in case of 10 kilogram, suppose a 10 kilogram body, then you can throw only the body up to near about 3 to 4 meter. 3 to 4 meter, but when body mass decreases, it means becomes 500 gram. Then you can throw the body up to nearly 100 or near about 150 meters. If you are able to throw, then throw up to 150 meter. It means when the mass increases, then velocity decreases. When the mass value increases, here momentum P equal to what? M into V. It means whenever mass increases, then velocity increases. Suppose momentum of physical quantity is 100 by multiplication of product of mass and velocity, then during product of mass and velocity we have to obtain what? 100. So if mass is equal to 10, then velocity will be 10. If mass is equal to, that is 500, means what? That is 1 upon 2 kg. So 1 upon 2, then velocity will be 200. You see, whenever mass becomes half, then velocity will be 200. And when the mass is 10 kilogram, then velocity is 10. So 10 into 10 means what? 100. And 1 upon 2 into 200 means what? 100. In both cases, the product is same, but the variation in different. Here mass increases, then velocity increases. If mass increases, then velocity decreases. If mass decreases, then velocity increases. So concept is clear. When you just solve out numerical, suppose the velocity of moving body becomes twice, then the momentum will be also twice. In some question given, how the momentum of body changes when the mass and velocity both becomes twice. Suppose P is equal to what? Initially mv, and m dash is equal to 2m, and v dash is equal to 2v. It means mass and velocity both are become twice. Then how the momentum changes? How the momentum changes? Very simple. So P dash is equal to what? M dash v dash, that is 2m into 2v equal to what? 4mv. And mv means what? P. So 4p. It means momentum becomes 4 times. 2 times mass and 2 times velocity whenever taken together in multiplication terms. That 2 into 2 means what? 4. So momentum is a physical quantity, directly depends upon mass and also depends upon velocity. But mass and velocity are inversely proportional to each other. It means whenever mass increases, then velocity decreases, and when mass decreases, then velocity increases. So after this, the next topic is inertia. That is very conceptual topic. Inertia. Definition of inertia and types of inertia, very easy and very helpful in many examples. That is related to your real life concept. The concept of inertia. Inertia means that is the internal property of a body, or you say that the inherent property of a body that wants to remains in initial condition. If you want to change the condition of the body, then it's make a resist and do not want to change their own initial condition. It means inertia, that is the inherent property of body. The inherent property. Inherent property of body by virtue of which it resists any change. With the help of inertia, when inertia concept is clear, then Newton's law, first, that is very important law, will be clear in easy way. See, the inertia is inherent property of body by virtue of which it resists any change. Suppose the body is in rest, then wants to remain in rest. And if body is in moving, then also wants to remain in moving condition. If body wants to moving in same condition, then you have to apply external force, then the body will stop, otherwise no chance. So you are not applying and the body is moving on road, then there is always available friction force in between the road and tires surface, and also a drag force, that is air drag, and these two forces make the body in rest. Either we applying external force or not, but after moving some distance the body will stop. If the surface is frictionless and there is no air resistance and body is in motion, then body will continue its motion up to last limit. I will say that last lasting. But here the concept of inertia, very easy. The inherent property of body by virtue of which it resists any change. Resist means just opposing nature. And then after this, the types of inertia. Types of inertia. Mainly 3 types. Number 1, inertia of rest. Inertia of rest. Number 2, inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. And number 3, inertia of direction. The concept of these 3 very easy. When you just listen carefully, then everything will be clear. Number first, inertia of rest. Suppose a body is in rest, then wants to be in rest. Initially, a body is in rest, then wants to be in rest condition if an external force is not applied on it. We will discuss all 3 cases or all 3 types in a single example. This one, inertia of motion. When a body is in motion, or when a body is in motion, then wants to remain in motion unless an external force is not applied. And last one, inertia of direction. When a body is moving along a straight line, then continue its straight line unless an external force is not applied. In all three cases, a single example can explain these three cases. Number one case, with the help of example, suppose a passenger is sitting in the bus. Passenger is sitting in the bus. So along with bus, passenger also rest. Initially, bus is rest condition and the passenger is sitting in the bus. That is the passenger in rest condition, and the body of passenger, that is lower leg, in contact with bus. If suddenly bus started, then what will happen? When the bus suddenly started, then the lower part of the passenger will start movement, but upper part, that is not in contact with bus, then wants to remain in rest. That's why whenever a bus suddenly start in forward direction, all the passengers sitting in the bus or standing in the bus experiences what? Backward jerk. That's why they are, if not holding the particular rigid material, they will fall down. During which condition? When the bus suddenly start. And this is common example you can experience when you are just sitting in the bus and bus started suddenly, then you will feel what? Backside jerk. And this jerks, this is an example of inertia of rest. Initially the passenger in rest, so wants to remain in rest, but the lower part of the passenger, it means leg and back portion, somewhat amount, body part, that is in contact with bus, so start movement in forward direction, but the upper part, that is not in contact with bus, so wants to remain in rest. That's why feeling backward jerk. So second example, inertia of motion. In the same case of bus and passenger example, and if the passenger is sitting or standing in bus and bus is in moving condition, along with bus, passenger is also in moving condition. Both bus and passenger are moving with same speed, either in sitting condition or standing condition, no matter. But whenever bus is in moving condition, then passenger is also in moving condition. And suddenly, if bus stops by applying brake with the drivers, then the bus will stop. And whenever bus will stop, then passengers lower portion suddenly stop. That is the leg portion that contact in the lower surface of bus. Due to this contact, the lower portion of the passenger that are contact with the bus becomes stop, but the upper portion that is not contact in the bus becomes what? Is in motion condition. That's why the passengers feeling forward jerk. And if you are not having experienced such type of example, then you have to go and sit in bus and feel that type of experience. During rest condition of bus, just experience whenever suddenly bus start, then you feel jerk backward, and whenever the bus is in motion condition and you are just standing without any holding materials, then if bus stops suddenly, then you will fall forward. And due to which condition? Due to inertia motion condition, because the whole body not in contact with bus, only one your legs in contact with bus. That's why due to stopping the bus, your legs will stop, but the upper part of the body is in motion. That's why you fall backward, not backward, forward direction. So last one, inertia of direction. With the same experience, that is passenger and bus examples. Suppose bus is moving in straight direction and passenger also along with bus moving in straight direction, and if bus taking sharp turn with a speed proper, I think nearly 20-30 speed, then all passengers that sitting inside the bus are standing inside the bus, they will feel what? Right side jerk. Why? There is a concept of inertia of direction, because initially they are moving in straight direction and the bus taking left side turn, but the passengers, those body part which are in contact with bus, that take the turn towards left along with bus, but the whole part that is not in contact with bus directly, that part will what? Move along the same straight line. It means they feel experience along right side, and bus making turn left, then the passengers experience jerks towards right. If the bus taking right turn, then the passenger experience taking left jerk. So with the help of simple and single example of passenger and bus, you can explain inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. There are so many examples in case of inertia of rest. Suppose in case of shaking mango trees, initially when you are shaking mango tree branches, then the mango is in rest condition and wants to remain in rest, but you are shaking, then what? Their position will stay, but the branches will move from their own position. That's why the attachment of mango with their branches will disconnect and the mango will fall down. Same as in case of hitting the door mat. When you just hit the door mat, then the dust particles initially in rest condition, then wants to remain in rest, but due to the movement of mat, when fly away, dust particles wants to remain in rest, then they fall down. Similarly, so many examples of inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. So you will study about all types of inertia and their example also. If any confusion in any concept, then you can ask. So that's all for today. We will discuss about Newton's law of motion in next lecture. Thank you so much.